Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's a pleasure this special morning to call upon on stage right now the speaker we're waiting for the first session for the Islamic Financial Seminar 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to call upon on stage right now distinguished speaker Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, Malaysia's 4th Prime Minister. Sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tuan-tuan, puan-puan, hadirin sekalian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to everyone. Firstly, I would like to say thank you to which have chosen to invite me to speak on Islamic finance, Islamic banking in ASEAN. Now, I think you know very well that I'm not a financier, I'm not a banker, I'm not even an economist. So my knowledge about Islamic finance will be quite rudimentary. So if I make mistakes about the details of Islamic banking, I'm quite sure you will understand why. Now we call it Islamic banking, but actually it is just banking without interest. And banking without interest is also advocated not just by the Muslim religion, but also by the Christians. Now interest-based banking is of course not something that has been there since the beginning of time. It was introduced by the Rothschilds about the 18th century, middle of the 18th century. But the people who founded the conventional banking that we use today were Jews. The Rothschilds were Jews. But they were much smarter than the Muslim. They never called it Jewish banking. And because they did not call it Jewish banking, their banking system was accepted by all, including the Muslims. But when you call your own banking system Islamic banking, it is really a negative thing in one sense, in that non-Muslims are not too happy about using something that is connected with the religion of Islam. There is a bank in America today, founded by an Arab who was migrated to America. He was a very smart man. He calls his bank La Riba. La Riba, as you know, La means no in Arabic. Riba is interest. La Riba Bank is no interest bank. And he has found that it is very well accepted. I am afraid that many Muslims are not very good at money management. They have so much money, and the thing they do is to put it in literally in fixed deposit by buying bonds from the American. And I'm afraid some of the money might have gone towards producing weapons, including weapons of mass destruction, which may be used against the Muslims themselves. So the financing of the war against Muslims is being done by Muslims. Just think of that. Why is that so? It is because you don't know how to manage your wealth. It is important to be able to manage wealth. If you don't, then somebody else will make use of your wealth for their own good. And their own good may not be in keeping with your concept of what is good and what is bad. Now, the Muslims had no banks and they did not borrow, and therefore they couldn't grow their economy. You need money to grow the economy. You cannot grow the economy without money. Being unwilling to borrow large sums of money from the Western banking system had hindered the progress of the Muslims. But now with the founding of Islamic banks, the Muslims can now borrow money in order to do business, but of course the borrowing is done in a slightly different way from the Western banking system. I know Al-Walid has got a lot of investment in hotels and the like, but even he, because he was not using Islamic banking, as you know, Al-Walid is feeling the pinch. He is having trouble now because of his borrowing being too big. But if we stick to Islamic banking, and we learn about trade and businesses, then Islamic banks will have a big role to play in the development of Southeast Asia. Today, it is not yet playing that kind of role, but I should hope that people would resort to Islamic banking because it is much more immune to the kind of abuses that you see in the banking system, conventional banking system. I think I will stop there and say thank you to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad deserve a rousing applause once again. Let's just for Prime Minister. Thank you very much, sir. And we will have our Q&A. Let me invite on stage right now to be the moderator for our Q&A. Please welcome on stage Mr. Ibrahim Arif, President for Kesuma.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Tun Dr. Mahathir. Okay, my name is Helmi Hakim. I'm representing an insurance cooperative in Singapore. Okay, Tun, I have two questions for you. Okay, my first question for you is, Malaysia Takaful give high return with track record between 8 to 10%. Singapore-based Takaful from insurance cooperative or from an international bank give only about 3 to 5%. In your opinion, why is this so? This is my first question. Okay, my second question, Malaysia is the leader in promoting Islamic banking and finance. Okay, will there be a future initiative by the Malaysian government to help Singapore promote Islamic banking and finance for Singaporean Muslims? Thank you.
It is entirely possible if Singapore requests that Malaysia provide them with information. Malaysia itself will not just go and persuade people to accept. That is, I mean, not quite proper. As the Malay say, hidung tak mancung, pipi tersuung-suung. You see, we don't offer, but if they want, it is available.
Okay, I think we will come to the last question for Tun. It's why OIC is not using dinar as a currency instead of US dollars for trade between each other. In that way, we can strengthen the Islamic banking institution. Well, thank you. To that note, I think we will rise for breakfast. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a token of appreciation to be presented to our special speakers this special afternoon. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I think we like to give a rousing applause for Tun Mahathir and Mr. Sani Hamid for being here.